this holiday season, we're going to show you how to make some healthy alternatives to some traditional holiday dishes. Today's dishes are going to be the So Healthy Cornbread and Julia's sauteed and steamed collards. Both of these recipes come from the Choose My Plate website.
And as a reminder, My Plate reminds us to build healthy plates by focusing on the 5 food groups: vegetables, fruits, proteins, grains, and dairy.
Well, let's get started. Okay, so let's get started on Julia's sauteed and steamed collard greens, okay? So you're gonna need about 16 cups of collards. I've already got mine washed and ready to go, all right? And we're gonna chop these up. The other things that we're gonna need are as follows. The next thing you're gonna need is about 4 cloves of garlic, about a teaspoon of no salt seasoning, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and about a half teaspoon of red pepper flakes. All right, so the first thing we need to do is chop up our collards. So the method that I like to use when I'm using any kind of leafy green is the chiffonade method, and basically what that means is I'm going to roll these up just like so. So when I cut them, they're going to come off into ribbons, just like so. There you go, got your ribbons. And so just some housekeeping methods with knives. Make sure that you have a claw grip on whatever you're cutting, and using a nice rocking and chopping motion. And that's going to keep your fingers out of the way with that claw grip, and that chopping motion is going to give you nice clean cuts. Now that we got some chops, we're going to keep a track on how much we have. Like I said in the beginning, we need about 16 cups. This measuring cup right here holds about 4 cups at a time. And I've already got about 10 cups in there already. So just measuring these out, again 16 cups total. And after that, we're going to get started on our garlic and get that chopped up and ready to go as well. Alright, so to open this garlic up, what we're going to do is I like to take the heel of my blade, place it directly over the garlic, and be careful when you're doing this, we don't want to cut ourselves. You take your other hand and lightly smash into that garlic. And what's that's going to do is it's going to loosen up the outer peel of the garlic and allow you to just go ahead and get rid of that peel. Alright? Once we got that off, we need to mince this garlic up. And so what we're going to do first, let's go ahead and cut it into some strips real quick, or some slices, excuse me. Be careful again, keeping that claw grip, cut through those, get rid of that end piece. Just like that. And then once you got into some smaller pieces, and I got a little peel in there. Once you get into the smaller pieces, all you need to do, take your knife like this, place your other hand on top of this knife, and rock back and forth just like this to get those minced pieces. And as they kind of scoot across the cutting board, just get them back into a centered spot and finish them off. Alright, there we go. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and add some oil to our pan. And now we have our collards in here. What we're going to do is saute these for about a minute or so. Let them get a little heat to them. And we're not going to add any water to them because we've added some water from when we had washed them. When we washed them earlier. We're going to keep a little water from that, and that's going to kind of help the steam and get them nice and soft. So while they're sauteing, while they're sauteing, try to keep them moving. We don't want them to stay in one spot too long. That way that, they don't stick to the bottom and start burning, and we get that heat evenly through. Alright, so it's been about a minute. What we're going to do now is go ahead and add some of our seasoning salt, or unseasoned salt in there, and then we're going to add some of our red pepper flakes. Get that mixed in. So once we got them sauteed a little bit, what we're going to do is throw the lid on here and let them steam for a few minutes, really until it's about half the volume of the collards that you had in the beginning. And then from there, we're going to lower the temperature and let it, kind of simmer for a little bit and let the flavors meld and get a little bit more tender. And then from there, that's pretty much it. that is a pretty simple dish and a healthier take on it. So we're not adding a bunch of, the sugars and the added sodium and stuff like that. It's still going to be a nice flavorful dish with all of the aromatic stuff coming from the garlic, and then we have our unsalted seasonings as well. So it's going to be a nice flavorful dish without all the added sugar and all the added sodium.
So now let's make our so healthy cornbread. This is what you'll need. So for our dry ingredients, we're going to need a cup of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of cornmeal, half a cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and about half a teaspoon of salt. So these are the wet ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need about a cup of low-fat buttermilk, 4 egg whites or about half a cup of egg whites, about 2 teaspoons of vegetable oil, and half a cup of applesauce, sugar-free applesauce. So now that we've got all of our ingredients ready to go, we're gonna mix all of our dry ingredients into a medium-sized bowl. I have a glass bowl here. First, before we add in the wet ingredients. Now, I've already preheated the oven to 400 degrees, and I'm going to lightly coat a pan here in a minute. But you wanna go ahead and do that ahead of time if you can. So let's add our flour, cornmeal, sugar, baking powder, and lastly we're going to add the salt. So now what we want to do now is mix it all together with a whisk. So all of our dry ingredients are mixed well, so now we're going to add our wet ingredients. We're going to start off with the low-fat buttermilk, egg whites, applesauce, and vegetable oil. Now we're going to mix. So I lightly sprayed my pan here. So now we're going to pour the mixture into the pan. Okay, so now we're ready to bake it in the oven for about 20 minutes at 400 degrees. So our cornbread has come out of the oven. It's nice golden brown on top. We added an extra couple minutes to the timer, so I originally said 20 minutes, but it's been about 25 minutes. So now let's cut it into small squares.
All right, there you have it. We have our sauteed and steamed collard greens, and we have our soulful cornbread. Pretty easy to make, not too many steps, and it's going to be a little healthier for you. So you can have your traditional meals, but do a little better for your body as well. So enjoy these meals, try them at home, let us know how you like them.